Hi, this is Tony Harris Taylor with another episode of the Drastic Results with Tony Harris Taylor show. And we have another fabulous author of the viral networking book, Miss Marietta Willis. Now, it is not Marietta, the country way. It is Marietta, and Mari to her friends and family.
Right.
Welcome.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you for having me.
So Marietta is like, when you look up the definition of serial entrepreneur, yeah, her picture is there. So she got a lot of stuff going on. So in your own words, who are you and what do you do?
Well, Tony, my name is Marietta Willis. I am a serial entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for several years. I am currently the CEO and owner of Encore Consulting and IT. Richmond Capital Solutions, the CEO of SGA366 or Strategic Growth Alliance 366. Have mercy.
I can help you out.
SGA TV Network and the 366 Sky Lounge and Event Center.
Very good. And you know, she's my landlord too. So there you go. So she's got a lot of things going on, but I will tell you the foundation of everything Mari has going on is what?
It's networking.
Networking. Very good. So Mari, so you got a lot of things going on. So how did your businesses come about?
Well, just to kind of give a ballpark overview, it started years ago for my kids. You know, I was a single parent and I wanted to make sure that I had something additional to be able to take care of my kids the way I wanted them to. And so I started a business back then. Back then it was tax, but I've always had something on the side of my full-time job.
And I know, because we're right here together, that you took the drastic step and left a corporate job recently. And how does that feel?
That feels great because I wake up to my own tune. You know, I'm not worried about what time I'm getting up and running out the door, although I still am on a schedule for myself, but it is my schedule. That's what makes the big difference.
So Mari, you know, I've talked to a lot of people in this book, but you're the one that is the true introvert. You're the one person that is like that quiet, very reserved, introverted. And so I want you to, this conversation, I want you to really tailor to the introverts in the room. So why did you start networking?
Well, I started networking because as an introvert, I didn't really know a whole lot of people. First of all, I knew what it is I wanted to do, and I knew that I could help people with what I do. So I knew networking was the next step. So I joined a chamber of commerce, and that's kind of where I got started with networking. Okay. But it was hard, but I did it.
And so and not only is she an introvert, she's also very analytical. So she's not the most, and I'm not saying this in a negative way, so y'all don't hear it that way, but she's just not a people person. And it's okay. That's fine. She's an introvert. She's analytical. I will give her my contracts and my numbers any day. And I know she got that because that is my weakness. So for you to decide that networking was the right way to build your business, even though it was so outside your comfort zone, that's very drastic and admirable. So when it comes to networking, there are so many emotions. People love it or they hate it. Where do you fall on the networking meter?
Well, when I started, I hated it. I literally hated it because I had anxieties. I would go to for networking. I might get to the door and turn around and go home. That's how bad it was for me. I may just get to the door and go home as opposed to walking in that door. It took some time, but I pushed myself and, decided, okay, I'm going to go in, I'm going to talk to 3 people, and then I'll leave. Mm-hmm. And that's what I did initially. That's how I kind of pushed myself into it. I went in, talked to 3 people, and I left. But now I can actually go to, a networking event and, talk to everyone.
Yeah, to watch her work now is amazing. So, and we'll get into this a little bit later, but just watching you evolve, even in the last 2 years since we've been connected, has been wow. So virtual networking has become more popular since the pandemic. What tips would you give an entrepreneur around virtual networking?
Well, it certainly makes things a little easier than running out to a networking event. It's, cuts down on the time it takes to actually do the networking and because you don't have to run out, you don't have to come back. It's a 1 hour, 30-minute, whatever you've set aside. And it makes it just a little bit easier just to have a conversation. And you're in a room by yourselves.
Okay, very good. So now you talked about your driving force to becoming an entrepreneur. You needed, okay, my computer did something funky. Okay, you needed a side hustle to support your family.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And we've all had those peaks and valleys. So what is your driving force now to staying an entrepreneur?
Now it's just what I love to do. I love helping people. I love seeing people win. And I love being that person that can help you get there. And it's always been something that I've loved to do, because my first networking, like I said, with the Chamber of Commerce, I met someone there who kind of has helped me along the way too with that. But she kind of had a driving force for helping people as well. So we kind of got to be real good friends for that reason. But that just helping people is really my driving force.
Wonderful. And you do a great job in helping all of us up here at SGA366. And we appreciate you.
Thank you, Tony.
And your leadership. So thank you. So tell me about a time that you didn't want to show up, you pushed ahead, and you're glad you did.
I guess I'll have to go back to that Chamber of Commerce, because that was it. Because I pushed myself to network and to talk to people. I actually met the person who became a very good friend, but not only became a very good friend, she was my admin. And I'd often say that if it weren't for her, I wouldn't get paid, because I was that person that liked to help. I might do the job and might forget to send you an invoice, but she helped me, keep that on track. So it was very helpful for me to have her as my admin.
Perfect. So tell me about your challenges with networking. Even though you love it now, what are your challenges? Because we all do.
The biggest challenge is time.
Time.
Making the time to do the networking, as you already know, making that time to do the networking. But of course, it's necessary. So you really do have to find that time, because if you stop networking, you stop growing.
There you go. So it's a balance, right? And it's all about making the time.
Right.
So
right.
Now tell me about a time that networking has made a big difference in your business.
Oh, that's the easy one. 2 years ago, I was in a networking group where I met my current partner, Sonia Lowe. And again, being that introvert, we didn't really speak a whole lot, but I did see something in her that drew me to her. I felt like she had something I needed. And, I took the time to talk with her, speak with her, even have some one-on-ones with her. And, I knew that, there was something there. And as busy as she was, at that time, she spent time with me. Okay. Mm-hmm. So in the time that we found that networking group was not something that was good for either of us, and we broke away from that, we came together after that. And literally almost immediately decided we were going to be working together. we were going to be working together. And for me, this is one of the biggest things because what we're doing now has allowed me to retire from the corporate America. So that for me.
So honestly, you and Sonia need to make a TV show, or not a show, but a video, because you guys and your connection and how it has become evolutionary in your lives and business is like the picture of networking.
Right.
It is it's almost like a fairy tale, or almost like a love story.
Mm-hmm.
It really
I can agree with that, because it's almost unlikely that the two of us would be together.
Absolutely.
It's totally different.
Now we live in a different world, so let's be clear. Sonia's married to her king and Mari is looking for her. So
right.
But your story with networking is like a love story.
Mm-hmm.
And even though it hasn't been perfect, lots of peaks and valleys, you guys are hanging in there and committed to each other and the process.
Absolutely.
And so, I just love your story. So we need to do something with that, because it really is the picture of what's possible when you show up.
Absolutely.
So social media is a form of networking. How has social media helped you to grow your business?
Well, for the most part, most of what my marketing is on social media. Mm-hmm. Just connecting with different people. And I find a lot of people are connecting with me, even without me even trying. But that has been the biggest piece of marketing for us.
Awesome. Wonderful. So social media, I know the lounge, right? It gets a lot of publicity through the social media. Mm-hmm. But the other thing is, I know social media has kept you connected to so many people.
It does.
Those people are showing up again in your life. So
exactly.
Wonderful. What mistakes do you see entrepreneurs make when it comes to networking? And what's your best tip for them? Well,
I guess the biggest mistake I can see is one that I made. Not showing up on a consistent basis. I mean, I show up, but sometimes it's not consistent. And you do have to be consistent, because how else will a person get to know you? Had I not pushed myself going to the chamber at that time, there are a few people that I know now, including yourself, that I probably would not have connected with.
Right.
So definitely being consistent.
So, and the tip is to show up. Even when you're an introvert, mm-hmm. even when you're in your head about it, when you get to the door and you want to turn around, walk through the door anyway.
Yes.
Very good. So what does it mean, though, Mari, for you to show up, or for an entrepreneur to show up? So I'm here, right? I'm at the event. I'm walked through the door. What else does an entrepreneur need to do in order to show up?
Well, you talk, you communicate, but most importantly, you get that one-to-one. And as you've taught us, you do that right then and there. Don't wait till you get home. You do it right then and there, because that was one of my mistakes. Is I would wait till I get home, and then maybe or maybe not, that call might not get made, and that one-to-one didn't happen a lot of times. But making that appointment like right then and there is probably the most important.
Awesome. Well, that's a consistent theme through this book, because everybody has said, book it on the spot, which is still drastic. Even though you know it conceptually and you understand why it's important, it's still hard to ask for a date on the spot. So I'm glad you understand that. And now my clients, you don't leave events without dates, period. It doesn't make sense to show up and then leave with just a personal business cards. Who needs more pieces of paper on their desk? Not one person.
I don't take business cards anymore.
Good for you. Good for you. So in addition to that, do you have any other suggestions for following up?
Well, the follow up the first time is just one But in order to really get to know a person, you want to follow up more than once.
Yeah.
At least 2 or 3 times, just to kind of get, build a relationship.
Yeah.
Not just to talk about business, but to build a relationship.
Yeah.
So that's important. So you may not do anything with that person right now, but you never know what's going to happen down the road.
That is an excellent, excellent tip, because you don't get married on the first date.
That's right.
It's the dates that come after the first date that really solidifies the relationship. So your tip is book more dates, book more engagements, stay connected. I love that. All right. So describe how your networking has gone viral.
Well, I guess we can say that a lot of the business that we do now is more of word of mouth, because we haven't actually done a lot of networking, but the word of mouth has been happening.
Yeah.
And that's to me, that's viral, because that's what you really want in business, is to have that word of mouth and the recommendations.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So what's your favorite quote around networking or connecting?
Well, Tony, when I was young, my mom used to have speakers in our bedrooms. And within those speakers, she had us listening to all night long Zig Ziglar. So my quote comes from Zig Ziglar. You can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough people get what they want. And that has definitely stuck with me, along with, some of the sounds he made when he was talking. But yes, and that's what we're trying to do now. That's what our business is all about now: collaboration and helping others. So yeah, definitely helping as many as you can, and you'll definitely get what you want out of life.
That is my quote. That's my quote. I love that quote too. It's hanging on my wall. You can have everything you want in life if you help enough people get what they want. And I want to thank you personally for helping me to get what I want.
You're welcome.
And
Thank you.
Grateful to be a part of your SGA family.
You're welcome.
All right. So what final thoughts can you offer an entrepreneur who's hesitant to network?
Well, all I can say is just do it. Just be the Nike person. Just do it. When you feel like you can't or you don't want to, you really do have to kind of get out of your head. Just step inside and see what happens.
Yeah.
That's really all you need to do, is just step inside and see what happens.
Yeah.
That's how I push myself.
Yay. Thank you so much, Mari, for your time. Give everybody your contact information if they want help on any of those businesses. Absolutely.
You can reach us through email, info@SGA366.com, or Facebook, which is SGA366. And we will be able to contact you. Well, you'll get in contact with us through those.
Awesome. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Marietta. I really appreciate your time, and the best is yet to come. This is Tony Harris Taylor saying, take a drastic step today for a fantastic tomorrow. Bye.
Bye-bye.